Hey folks, I'm Tennessee Brando. You know, every time I turn on the January 6th hearings, I'm reminded of just how angry I was on that day. When I watched a violent mob attempt to overturn a free and honest election, I watched them break into our Capitol building, waving the Confederate flag, waving Trump flags, don't tread on me flags, and marching up and down the halls of the Capitol, putting their feet on Pelosi's desk, making a mockery out of the whole system. They was trying to take away my vote and the vote of 80 million other American people who voted for Joe Biden. And they had no problem silencing us and silencing our vote. And I remember how angry I was watching the events of that day unfold. But now, as I watch the January 6th hearings, I'm even more angry. And I'm angry because we're having to relive this every day we watch the hearings. We're having to relive what happened on that day. And we're learning new information. We're hearing first-hand witness accounts of what happened, not only on January 6th, but leading up to that day. And we still have people out there telling us, don't believe what you see, don't believe what you hear. Well, this is just all a Democratic dog and pony show. It's all just another hoax. It's all just another attempt to make our guy look bad. No, it's not. This is not an attempt to make Donald Trump look bad. This is one final attempt to show you exactly how bad it was on that day. And trust me, it's way worse than we ever thought it was. Now, to you conservatives, I know what you're thinking. You're saying, yeah, but it was our vote that got silenced. No, actually what happened in your case was you voted in a free and honest election and your guy lost. And then he fed you nothing but lies and misinformation until he got you so worked up, you thought you could just take a vacation day, go to Washington, overthrow your government, come back to work. He got you so worked up in the whole don't believe what you see and don't believe what you hear, just believe what I tell you, that you were willing to overthrow your own government and silence your fellow Americans. You had no trouble with that. Now, conservatives love to say that we should fear a tyrannical government. Do you not realize that that is exactly what you was trying to install into power on that day? You tell us to be afraid of a dictator. That's exactly what you was trying to install on that day. Everything that you've ever feared is exactly what you was trying to install on that day. You love to sit and say, don't tread on me. But you have no problem when it's the gay and trans community being treaded on. You have no problem when it's people of color being treaded on. And you sure have no problem when women's health rights get stripped away. You believe that you are the oppressed because your side has fed you nothing but lies and misinformation. And you have bought into a narrative that it's you that is being canceled. It's you that's being oppressed. When in reality, you were trying to cancel and oppress an entire nation. Now, to you moderates who are just sitting on the fence, you're sitting back going, well, I don't really see what the point in all this is. Nothing's ever going to come of it. They're never going to do nothing about it. I don't see. You guys aren't paying attention. Stop reading the comment section. Stop listening to your coworkers at work and go watch this for yourself. And if it doesn't piss you off, then you weren't paying attention. And to the people on the left, to the liberals and the progressives, now is not the time to ever take your eye off the ball. This is one of the most important and crucial times in our history. If we do not hold Donald Trump and the people who did this on January 6th accountable, then what is the point in ever asking anyone to lay their hand on a Bible and raise their right hand and take an oath to protect and defend the Constitution? What is the point in having anyone ever do that again if we don't hold the one man accountable who did everything in his power to tear down that oath? This is not a time for left versus right. This is a time for right versus wrong. It's a time for us to look at this for what it really was. Wouldn't Trump have been much better off on Election Day? Couldn't he have saved us from this whole mess if he'd have just said, okay, I want some recounts and I want to check to see if there's fraud. And when the recounts came back and he still lost and the fraud wasn't there, wouldn't he have been much better off to just come out then and say, hey, all right, the American people have spoken. I don't agree with their decision, but they've elected Joe Biden. And so, you know what? I'm going to ride off into the sunset, and I'll be back in 4 years, and I will tell you guys just how bad you messed up. I'm going to tell you just how bad Joe Biden was. Had he done that, he could have saved us from all of this. But instead, he fed his followers nothing but lies and misinformation until he had them willing to overthrow their very own government. This is not a time for any of us to let this slide. This is not an argument that we should be having left versus right. If we want democracy in this country, and if we want our Constitution to be upheld, we have to hold our leaders accountable. If we do not hold them accountable, the American dream as we know it is going to be no more. So watch these closely. Watch what's happening. Believe what it is you're seeing. Believe what it is you're hearing. And stop listening to these people who are telling you that this is all a dog and pony show. No, this is one final attempt to show you just how bad it was. And it is one final attempt to save the American dream.